picking up where I left off. Left off! They got my jobs! Got the jobs! Got my jobs! Okay. So, with Trialectics, there's the second order, which I was just talking about, that's dealing with sort of ensuring that we have compassion built into the model. That is, there's an economics of that drives good works. Now above that, you have a model that drives innovation. Now innovation is inclusive, in my view, of sustainability. So it's inclusive of those systems that are ensuring good works and of those that are driving of the economic or of competition in a sense. But there's novelty built in it. They're creating that and also integrating, ensuring that there's connectivity between the different systems. And so there's this is what the Trialectics model calls mind share. And so those that are seen to be doing the greatest works in innovation would be in some way allowed to create more, essentially, so that the people that do greater works get to do more. And so you can participate. You could potentially participate in just one of the three and get by. And that's the design of it. Some people would just like to be in the business model. But the business model is held within, in a sense, superseded by both compassion and reason. They're ensured that there's going to be a degree of integration between them. Now there's lots of things to sort out about how these would interplay with each other, economically speaking. But they got to remain somewhat distinct, somewhat autonomous forms of economics, just in sort of the way that the governing democratic model in America is. And I think this will collectively allow more people to grow. One of the major problems in the world is the fact that we have these competing value structures. One potential is to just go pew, and we could all sort of be on the same wave through maybe telekinesis. And you never know. Maybe you do. I don't. So I'm just doing my best here, and that is to say that globally we have lots of people with different waves of consciousness. And if you have a model that economically is, in a sense, it's more communist, but is not, because it still has competition. Competition drives innovation, and innovation is built into sustainability. That. And so, hopefully it's going to make it more easier for people to get educated, to have good food, to live in a technologically advanced structure that works within the model of both understanding that there's finite resources, so it's a resource-based economy, and secondarily, it's within the framework of getting outside of planned obsolescence. And this is a big thing that the Zeitgeist movement points out is really important. That our model right now, because it's of lack and not of abundance in part, being needs abundance, we can get out of the planned obsolescence model where we create crappy products that break down. We create crappy products that are not integrative. They cannot be, you cannot take your computer and add the parts in the next gen and then use those other parts that were taken out and then recycle them, which makes a lot of sense, which is reasonable. but we're not doing it. And so, because there's an economic reason not to within this kind of economic model, trialectical model helps with that, still allows for sort of a degree of competition. You have more sharing, more communion. That is to say, like things that they point out in moving forward about, using communal products makes a lot of sense. But you still have some sort of competition. People like that. And I think it's kind of part of our being to keep it there to some extent. We like sports. We like playing the racket. Anyway, so the idea is inclusivity. As you, I'm sure, know. And what else can I talk about? There's a lot. Oh, I was thinking a lot about John Rawls' Veil of Ignorance. If you don't know the Veil of Ignorance, it's a political thing. It's a philosophical mind game that you can use to help ensure that you're doing more moral institutions, creating more moral actions. And I'm butchering this, but roughly that. Yeah, what it is you take yourself out of the position, you put yourself in the position of ignorance. You don't know where you stand socially and economically. And then you're more able to make decisions that are just and fair, because within, you could be a poor person without a dollar, or you could be a super wealthy person with many dollars. And so you don't know where you stand. So now putting this veil of ignorance into this new model, that's inclusive of Trialectics, that's inclusive of developments of consciousness. So now we don't know where we are developmentally speaking. I don't know if I'm red, blue, green, don't know. And furthermore, I don't know if I'm going to succeed more in the trialectical model, or more in the sort of authoritarian-ish, that is the kind of traditional economic model, or the heart share, or the mind share, the economics. And then so you design the system from the place of ignorance. I don't know where the fuck I'm going to be. I don't know what the fuck I'm the best at. And now, so how would I want this model to be made to maximize? Because therefore you're going to try to maximize that which is the best for all of us. So that's another point. I think it's useful to try to reintegrate the Rawlsian veil of ignorance, because I think it's a really smart little piece of knowledge. And I've also been thinking about bright green movement. If you don't know this, check it out. It's pretty cool. The bright green movement is the idea that we have to take responsibility for the ecological situation that we're in. Obvious, right? But the neat part is that it says that, okay, well, technology is not bad, it's morally neutral. It depends on how we use it. Certain technologies are going to more likely do negative things, such as nuclear weapons. But in general, it's how we use them, our intentions behind them, mostly. Therefore, our societies, our cities themselves aren't bad. What's wrong with them is how they're designed. It's a functional problem, mostly. Again, Zeitgeist gets pretty close to this. What I like about this, though, is it talks about the world as sort of a zoo, because that's the way it seems to be going. We are sort of creating a global zoo, right? Where, we have to take managerial responsibility sort of over how nature goes. Now, there's chaotic parts of nature we just don't know. We don't know everything. But given sort of the science that we do know, what's the most responsible way to govern this system? And again, this is inclusive. It fits perfect with sort of, I think, the trialectical model-ish, the Venus product-ish model, the integrated model, but we got to get the corruption to tug some of that out to allow this to kind of grow. the oakling to grow into the oak. The acorn. That's the word I'm looking for. And so it is.